Where did it go? Good morning, everyone. Just trying to get something on here. I put it on here and it moved. And I don't know where it went. Well, I don't know. I can't get it up there where I want it so it doesn't cover up anything else. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up this. We're going to have to figure out, I think we're going to start out with, this was the bucket hat that I had started that I did not finish. Stormy, this is going out to you today. I don't know. It's way, way early for you because it's 6 a.m. here, and I know it's probably about 4:30 where you are, so you're probably still in the bed. So we're going to start off with the closure of this bucket hat. Howdy, Judy. How are you today? I got my room turned around here a little bit, and it's all right. You can look at my windowsill and my yarn bowl and stuff over there. Get me a sip of coffee here and we'll get going. I think I need to turn this radio down a little bit. This TV. It sounds like it's a little loud. I don't want the music to overtake. How are you this morning, Judy? You're doing great? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. So we're good. We're doing half double crochets. So we're going to chain 2 to start. If I can keep my hook in here. And again, I'm using a 5mm crochet hook. I probably need to go back and edit the description so that I can, and I'm not sure. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and start with 8. We might have to pull it back, but I'm not sure. So I'm going to do 8 half double crochets. Or actually, we can't start with 8 because I have 60 stitches on here. Yeah, 8. Sitting here trying to do brain work at 6:30 in the morning. Doesn't work very well. 8 half double crochets, 1 in each of the next 8 stitches we're going to do here. My fingers and stuff are a little sore today. I did some planting in the yard. I got some plants put in. I've got some long planter boxes that I put soil in this morning. I want to put some more flowers out. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, one more. 8. Now over the next 2 stitches we're going to work a decrease. So we're going to do a half double decrease in this next 2 stitches, which is also a half double crochet 2 together. Okay, we're just going to do that all the way around. 2, 3. Oh, that was a single crochet. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Let me come back into camera frame here and get my cushion. That's why I keep going out of camera frame. All right, there we go. How did it go, Judy? How did your art fair go? Thank you so much for the hearts. Oh, you haven't been to bed yet either. Oh my goodness. All right, let me see how many we got here after our decrease. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, we're going to do another decrease here. Half double decrease. And then 8 more. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I want to make sure that that 7's right, because I had a piece of the other felt like in there and it wouldn't pull through. Let me double check and make sure I didn't pull 2 of those. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One more. And then a decrease. Oh, I love going to craft fairs. I do. I get inspired to, I don't know what it is. I guess it gets my creative juices flowing, and I got all kinds of ideas, and I come home and I write them all down. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8. Was I doing 8? Yeah, 8. I was like, I think I did one that I only did 7, but I think I'm good. We'll find out when we get around here to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Your puppy was a big hit, I bet. 7, 8. I used to be able to take my little dog everywhere because he was quiet. And, I would take him to the store with me when I went. He would go into the store. I had a special thing for the shopping cart. 3, 4, where the kids sit. I had a fabric thing made up. And I had to count these over again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One more. And I would put it over that little seat portion, and he sat in there. And I had him buckled to one of the straps where you fasten the kids in with. 1, 2. And he would go to the store with me, and everybody just loved him. What the heck am I doing? Because it's catching. 1. Well, that's not a half double. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we're going to leave that 8 right there and connect it together. I'm making this up as I go along. You guys can follow along with me. This was on this row is 8 half double crochets, and then half double crochet 2 together on that row. Whew, my hands are suffering today. I don't think I'm going to be doing much more after I do this hat today. I'll do some organizing in my craft room. I need to inventory all my yarn. Alright, on this row we're going to do 7 half double crochets and 2 together. 2, 3. Thank you for all the likes, guys. 4. Mary, thank you for the follow. 5, 6, and 7. And if you're just joining me today as finding me new for the first time, I do teach knitting and crocheting right here on TikTok, absolutely free. Currently it's Tuesday mornings, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this bucket hat that I'm working on, I've done it here on TikTok. And I have uploaded these videos to YouTube along with the pattern for this hat. Each section has its own set of directions, and this was done in 3 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This will be the 3rd part, and I will upload this after TikTok processes it today. And all 3 parts for this hat will be uploaded. I'm going to have to go back to the first video and see if I can't edit the description to add in what size crochet hook you need for this, what size yarn you need for this. Currently, a 4mm crochet hook will make an 18 to 19 inch hat. A 5mm, which I'm working with right now, will make a 20 to a 21 inch hat. And I'm going to do another one with the 6mm crochet hook and see if that won't do a 22 inch hat. And the pattern, the first 2 sections of the pattern are already up in YouTube. And there are links in my TikTok profile right over top of my videos. There is a Linktree link. If you click on that, it will show you all the links that I have available for you to find my videos, where I post all of my work. If you need to get a hold of me, and I did not put 2 together. Yeah, I did. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, come on. 6, 7. We're going to put 2 together. And we're doing half double crochets here today. It's my favorite stitch, really. Well, get a hold of the whole thing. Hold on just a second. 6 and 7. Let me put these 2 together. What I do for a hat is I measure the head. Okay, whoever you're making it for, I measure around the head. I have a small head. It's about somewhere between 18 and 19 inches. I take this little cloth tape measure. I mean, it's like plastic, but it's flexible. And you wrap it around your head. And I'm just going to do a little small demonstration. And this one is kind of offset a little bit, this little metal piece, so that you can see where exactly, and you just put it around your head like this, and you can see exactly what size head you have. And then you have to do some math. So when they tell you in school that when you grow up, you'll never need math, oh no, it is oh so wrong. You have to use the yarn label and figure out how many stitches per inch, and then you have to figure out your brim and all that kind of stuff, because I did this one brim up. You can tell this started down here at the brim, which I had to reverse engineer. I have to reverse engineer the bucket hat totally. So I had to know how many stitches were on this very last row when you complete the bucket hat. So I had to make one. From there, I knew how many stitches I needed to start here at the brim, because for this mushroom stitch here, you can't really work it top down. The stitch doesn't look the same top down. I tried it. It does not work. So we had to work it bottom up. So on your yarn label, and I'll show you this here really quickly, it'll tell you, get this to zoom in, for crochet, this is a gauge, 12 single crochets and 15 rows. So 12 single crochets will give you 4 inches. If you've got a 20-inch head, which is 4 times 5, which is 20 inches, you would have to multiply your 12 stitches here by 20. And that's how many stitches you would do. Actually, you'd have to do by inch. You have to do different math. Hold on a second. That is not right. Okay. 12 single crochets will give you 4 inches. So in each inch, you've got 3 single crochets. If you've got a 20-inch head, you have to take 3 times 20. And that will give you your stitch count. Okay, same thing for knitting. You've got your stitches back here. You just have to, and the thing is, with this gauge, if you're knitting with this size needle and if you have the right tension, it will give you that. If not, you have to do a gauge swatch and you have to measure it with a ruler. How many stitches and how many rows do you have per inch? And this is basically how designers figure out how they're going to make things. Wearables, hats. You don't so much need it for blankets unless you're making a specific size blanket. So, but yeah, that's how you do that. And we're back to 7 double crochets and half double crochet 2 together. 3, 4, 5, 6. Judy, are you still here? 7. I was wondering if you knew Meredith. She's on here. I think you do. I think I've seen you in her lives before. Two, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to put these 2 together because I need to have this area decreasing, because if it's not decreasing, it's not going to look right. So we're going to have to change our count up again as we go around. I'm going to have to write this down, or I might do it a little differently. But it's pretty much a standard hat closure. Let me see what we have here. How many stitches, because I'm probably going to change this. You don't know who Meredith is. Okay. She's the Pink Witch. She does a lot of crochet. She's got the granny square bags, and she was working on some Amy on Friday. And she didn't seem like she was doing too well, and I was just concerned at how she was doing. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 20, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 39, 40. Shoot, I lost my spot. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 26, 27, 28, 29. 43. We have 54 stitches, and I want this to close up almost flat. So I need a lot more decreases in here because this is starting to billow up. So I think I'm going to pull this 2 rows out and go back. And I'm going to be one that I'm going to show you the raw, unedited, mistakes and all. And I will make sure that I write down exactly what I do when I put this video in. I think I'm going to go back to doing 6 or 4 and 2. That goes 6. That gets me a lot more decreases. It'll be a lot flatter that way. And I want it to be flat. The other hat came out, it was kind of domed up. And yeah, I didn't like it. Meredith is the Pink Witch on TikTok. I'm going to do 4 half double crochets and put 2 together. Oh shoot, that wasn't put two together. I need way more caffeine to be doing this morning, but I wanted to get on here because I have been procrastinating and I have so much stuff to do and nothing is getting done. And why is this yarn not wanting to work with me this morning? One, two, three. All right, Judy. We'll be here when you come back. Oh, here we go. I need to learn how to count. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that is every crafter's issue. Stitch count. That's the reason why we make mistakes, is because we don't have our stitch count right. Plus my hands just don't want to do what I want them to do today. I've gotten really shaky here as of late. I need to schedule another doctor's appointment, I guess, and go get checked out. I had blood work done the other day so that my rheumatologist can check into things, because they don't know if this is fibro or something else. So I got a new rheumatologist, and she's just covering all the bases. And I tell you, I like her a lot, because my old rheumatologist, he made me feel like I was what they call a seeker. 2, 3, 4. I'm not looking for pain management. I have that on my own. I need to break a minute. My hands. But she was really nice. She said that she doesn't give her patients medication that studies don't prove that it will help, because she just doesn't like throwing pills at everybody. That was a plus number one for me, because I don't like taking pills if I don't have to. Especially pills with all kinds of side effects. Oh, no. Thank you. I have enough on my own. Kimberly, I am all natural. Let's put it that way. All natural. I like all natural with no side effects. A lot of what is wrong with us is our diet. Doctors used to be taught in medical school that your diet will help fix most of your problems. You just have to know what you should eat and what you shouldn't eat. And if you pay attention to your body and how you feel after you eat certain things, you'll know what you should eat and what you shouldn't eat. It's hard when things taste so good, and I love to eat. I do. I love to eat. I love good food and good company. And if you can have those every day, I think you have a great life. But, yeah, I'm all natural. All natural. Willow bark for headaches. Natural painkillers and the such. Even though I do have autoimmune diseases. And if I would have known about this earlier, I might not have the bad health that I have. Eating properly. Making sure that my body gets what it needs. Not necessarily what it wants. Things have changed a lot when I have fibro. I also have Hashimoto's. My body attacked my thyroid. Every cell in your body needs the hormones that are produced by the thyroid. So I am on the thyroid hormone. I have been since I was about 20. And I don't know if you guys know much about how the body operates, but your thyroid regulates your body temperature. It regulates your mood swings. It has a lot to do with your memory and things like that. So I suffer. Well, I don't want to say suffer because I don't feel. And I didn't do my decrease again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Double check this. I don't feel like I'm suffering, but I have to deal with some crazy symptoms sometimes. And some of them are like Alzheimer's symptoms. My short-term memory is just non-existent. That's 4. We're going to have a couple extra here. And we're going to do those right on in there. 1 and 2. Going to do in the top of this one here, slip stitch to join it together. All right, we just now did 4, and I think that's going to bring it in better the way I like it, the way I want it to be. Yeah, it's going to make it flatter once I get this done. Okay, so we went from 60 stitches and we decreased 10, so we should be down to 52. I think I'm going to do the 4. I don't know. I need something I can do some math on. Let me see here real quick. Let's do some math. That doesn't help. We're going to go ahead, because I thought there was such a huge hole here. We're going to go ahead and do the 3 half double crochets on this row and put 2 together, and we'll see what it does. Who is that? Oh, Mad Love. Kimberly, are you sure that you don't have, no, you have RA, okay. Yeah, that causes a lot of issues. I'm kind of concerned too whether I have it or not, because some of my joints are crazy and my fingers are twisted. My hands always hurt. Always, always, always. In the joints. And my hands will swell. Yeah, I wake up in the morning and they're numb sometimes. Not every morning, but the majority of mornings. All right, again, we're going to do 3 half double crochets on this row and do 2 together. All right, now, stuck in here. I want it in the stitch and not in the space. So, in this yarn today, still, I went out the other day and I brought some crochet hooks, but I know I didn't buy an H. I think I bought J, K, and L metal hooks. And here I am just crocheting away. 1, 2, 3. Those 2 should have been put together. Crochet hook's getting stuck on the way through. Found my resin hook with the bigger handle on it, which makes it better. That bamboo hook that I was working with on the majority of this hat, oof, I'd like to kilt my hand. I need a bigger, like this handle, so I don't grip it so much. I saw a video on TikTok that had me laughing. Somebody had stitched or yeah, they stitched with it. Somebody was crocheting with a tennis ball on the end of their crochet hook. So they were holding it like this and crocheting. Oh, I do have one of those. One of these. I love this crochet hook. I got this from a friend of mine. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I think it's this top bead on here, because when I crochet with it, it doesn't allow me to over tighten my pinky. Like, when you have the smaller hook, you can really tighten that pinky and then all of this cramps and then your hand goes crazy. But yeah, your beads go all the way down. No, just this one. So that gives me, I can still hold on to it and do everything. I twist it, roll it around. Yeah, I love it. I've used it so much. Look. I don't know if you can see this or not. I got to get it to zoom in on this. If it will. I've worn the color. I used it so much I've worn the color off the beads. Back here too. But I love it. I love it. I can crochet for hours with this. As long as my mind will allow me to, process. Sometimes it's just like, okay, we're just going to do whatever today. And my brain holds me hostage. All right, let's see if we can get through this here. I feel a little spunk of energy. It might help a lot. Can't wait for tomorrow to get here. I got to make some phone calls, getting certain things going so I can knock things off my plate. My plate's full, and I need to check some done boxes, cross things off my honey-do list. Oh, those two should have went together. Yeah. And here again, I said they need to go together, and I just singled them up. Let's see if we can get it this time. We're going to put those together. Here we go. This is the life of a crocheter. Real and unedited. There's 3. We need 2 here together. These 2 go together. All right, crochet hook, come on. There we go. Didn't have it turned far enough so it could go through. It was grabbing a hold of everything. Here we go. Now we're in our last 2 stitches. Look at that. Even count. We love that. We love that. Slip stitch to join that together. Now we're going to do 2 and a decrease. And for some reason I feel like that's not going to come together like I want it to, but we're going to try it anyway. So I'm looking at the space that we have here. 2 and a decrease, 1 and a decrease, and then decrease should be my last row. Hopefully we won't have a great big hole when we get to that point. Alrighty, go into the stitch. Actually, I think that's our join, so we're going to do this. One. Nope, I missed one. That was not our join. Going here soon to get my eyes checked. I need, and you know what? For some reason it looks like I did a chain right there. I did. So we're going to go right on over to here. Do 2 and a decrease. Decrease. I don't like when it won't pull through. All right, come on. I'm having fun now. Thank you for the follows. I'll look back through here. I got mine from Get Crafty Brooks. I do have a link in my TikTok if you want to check out what she's got. She does have some hooks for custom. She's got the Susan Bates hooks if you prefer those over the boy hooks. I don't know if she's gotten into doing any clovers. She said the hooks are kind of expensive. And she didn't know if anybody would really be interested in them. So she didn't want to, you know, take the chance and be stuck with a bunch of crochet hooks. Here we go. We're getting ready to do it again. Okay. Hopefully my puppers will stay quiet so that I could finish this video up without having to put them out of the room. Normally they do when nobody's here. This is definitely going to make this hat vented on the top. That went through the space and not the stitch. Does it look like I chained? Stitches are getting stretched. That's why. Oh, I hate it. The world. I put a chain in there. Why'd I do that? Get here in the top of this stitch. That's where I need to be. We're going to skip that chain. If I can get this through here. Put these two together. That wasn't even what I wanted to do. I don't know why I chained though. There was a chain in there. Again, you guys are going to see all the errors unedited. All right. Put these two together. going to stop here in a minute once I get done this row and look and see. I don't think I've had any. Good morning, Debbie. Welcome back, Judy. Thanks for all the likes and the follows, guys. I appreciate it very much. Somehow I've worked straight past where I started. I was like, I know this has got to end here somewhere soon. Where is it at? That was probably it right there. Yeah, it was. Where it looks like I got a chain. It looks like I skipped one. Slip stitch in there to join those together, and I'm stuck on something else. There we go. Alright, now we're going to chain 2, and we're going to do 1 half double and then a decrease. And I'm going to have to do some finagling on this to get this to come out right, I think. Let me stop here and take a look and see where this is going to put me when we finish this row. Yeah, we'll go ahead and finish this up. And then the next row I should be able to close it all the way up. I might have to do 2 double crochets together twice, which just means I should have started with a higher number on the first round before I did my decreases. And we are back at the beginning. Go into the top of that chain 2. I'm having issues working with this dark yarn. Let me take a look here now and see what we got. Show everybody else what we got going on here. We got the top of that hat coming together. We got a really small hole, but I think I'm still going to have to do 2 double crochets together twice over this row and then the row after it, because I know I got more than 12 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I'm going to have to, yeah. We're going to do the crochet 2 together on this round, and then that'll take us down to 10 stitches. And what I will do after that is draw it together, because normally I go down to like 6 stitches. These stitches have gotten big. Normally I go down to like 6 stitches and then I close the circle up, but we'll go down to 10 and close it up. which will be right after this round, we'll tie it off. Good morning, Debbie. I hope everybody's having a great morning so far. Mine started out a little rocky. Can't get it far enough back to get it not grabbing a hold of those stitches for some reason. I'm going to find out where my start is so I don't work past it. There it is right there. We're over here, so we have 2 more to put together, and then we're going to secure this off with the slip stitch here. I'm going to do one more right here because I don't want a huge gap, because that's what I'm going to end up with, a huge gap in the top. And then we're going to go ahead into the top of this chain 2. And we're going to fasten this off, pull through a good bit because we're going to use that to close up the rest of this circle. Good morning, Felicia. I'm doing pretty good. Debbie, I'm finishing up that bucket hat that we had started. Stormy had asked for a bucket hat with mushroom stitches. And I was working through this with her. This last portion, she'll see off of YouTube. What I'm going to do now, I don't know if you can see this, but there is a hole right here, about 2-finger width hole. I just jump in every now and then. It's not class, so I've been, and what I do is I just feed this through my stitches here on the top, go all the way around, make sure I catch every one of these stitches in here. I'm going through both loops just like I would if I was going to crochet in here, going from the outside in. And when I get through all these loops back here to the other side, I'm going to draw them tight. Right here's where I started, so I've got 1, 2 more stitches here to grab a hold of. Right here. And then what I'll do is I'll just, you can see here, well, where did that go? And pull it closed. Now it's closed. And I'm going to take this string, run it to the inside, turn this hat inside out just a little bit, bring that back through the hole there in our center, and I'm going to take this and run it through some of these stitches here where we did our weaving in our circle. Just catch some of these stitches on both sides around that circle opening that you just closed up. Yes, I can show how to do 2 granny squares together. I can show you that as soon as I get finished securing this hat off here. Come over here. Put my thumb in here and catch that loop. I'm going to run my sewing needle back through that one. And then I'm going to put my finger over here as I tighten up this other loop. And I'm going to run my sewing needle back through there again. And then I just pull it tight. And that's a nice secure knot right there. I'm going to clip this off just a little bit, and I will weave that in here shortly. But I will show you our bucket hat. It's got a flatter top, not quite as flat as I would like it to be done this way, but it'll smooth out when you put it in the wash. And you really can't see this in the light very well. On the camera it's not coming up too well. I've got 3 different rows of mushrooms here and a nice little bucket hat. I have some granny squares over here, and I'm going to have to move around my puppies because I'm up underneath of my desk and I've got dogs laying all around me. Oh, get 2 of these. Alright, we got 2 granny squares. I have a bag full of granny squares over here. When I get just a tiny little ball of yarn, I collect my little yarn scraps. Let me get back underneath of here. Ooh. And not disturb the puppies. When my yarn balls get about this big, I collect them in a little basket, and then when I get enough of them, I make granny squares. These go in another bag. I can make cardigans, blankets, bags, whatever. I have a ton of granny squares. I was going to say, where did I do with that needle? It's still laying here on the desk. And no, it's not long enough. I'm going to get another piece of yarn in a different color, or yeah, different color than the granny square, so you can see that this disappears. Now, there's many different ways to join the granny squares together. I don't know how to join them as you go. I really don't. I would have to watch a video and try and figure it out. They can crochet them together. There's one where you go into one side and you let the loop go and go into the other side and pull it through that loop and join them. There's all kinds of videos. What I do, my granny squares, you can see your stitches here. Okay? That's your last row, and that's where you go to do the next row. I take and put the right sides together. When you can see your stitches like this, this is considered the right side in crochet. When you turn it around and you can't see those V's, this is the wrong side. Okay, so I put the right sides together. I will find my corner stitch because you have chain 2 in the corner. I'll go to the one that corresponds with the side that I'm doing, and I will catch just the back loop. See my needle there, and just the back loop. Just the back loop. On the other side, I will find the corner where the chain 2s are, and I'm going to catch just the back loop that goes to this side. And I'll pull that through. And then what I do, I hold my hand here like this so I can see my V's on both sides from my stitches. And I will catch just the back loops. The reason why I catch just the back loops, I'll show you here in just a second. This is not the only way. Okay, say that before anybody else jumps in and says, oh, well, you can do it this way. This is not the only way. This is the way I do it. This is my way. And I do that all the way across. And I match up the stitches because you should have the same number of stitches along the side of your square. So I am matching up stitches here. And when you come to the spacing here, you should be at the same spot so that you make sure that your granny squares get sewed together the right way. And they're not, you know, you got 1 stitch left here and 3 on this other side. I've done that getting comfortable, sewing stuff together, watching TV, and end up with an odd number of stitches, and it's because I didn't put stitches in the right spot. But you want to make sure that you crochet those together. Okay, or this is a whip stitch. I don't know why I said crochet. But I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to show you why I only go through the back loops. When you open this back up, okay, you get this nice ridge in between your things. Another thing that I do, I will tie this here on my first square, but I will take and I will pull this, right? Almost like what they do in the mattress stitch. I will pull this tight as I'm making my whip stitch because you won't even see the blue through there. But you still have that nice ridge in between the two granny squares. And that's the way I stitch them together. Because I like to be able to see these stitches. Excuse me. I like to be able to see the ridge in between them. It just brings a little more detail out for me, that's all. That's the way I like to do them. But I'm going to go ahead and end today because this is part 3 of the bucket hat. Oh, you're welcome, Haley Jade. Crocheting them together, you would do a single crochet. It leaves a lump on the back side of your blanket, even if you do a slip stitch. You can slip stitch through the back loops only instead of sewing it if you wanted to, but it leaves a ridge on the back side of your blanket. This here, when I lay this flat, it's flat. If you crochet it together with the right sides together, it leaves a ridge on the back side of your blanket. I don't like that, so I don't do it that way. I do it this way. But there's also other videos showing you how to join them. I can probably take a look, or not can, I will. I'll take a look and see how that goes, and I can get back with you with some videos on that as well. So there you can see many different ways. It'll take me a couple of days to get that together, and it will probably be after Tuesday's class later on this week. I'll do a live. And that way, Haley, or Harley, I'm sorry, I keep calling you Haley. It's Harley Jade. My granddaughter's name is Haley Jade. When do you have the most time available? That way I can make sure to do the live when you are available during the week. Are you available like this time in the morning? Pretty much every weekday? Well, I don't even know if you're still here, sweetie, if you're typing or whatever. Got a lot of people coming in. I hate to end my live right now, but this was supposed to be for the bucket hat. No, Harley might not still be here. I don't know if she's still here or not. And I don't think this is going to let me find out who all is still here. No, it's not going to. But yes, I will do a video joining granny squares with several different ways that you can join them together. I will have to do a little research, do a little practice. Once I find a way that's comfortable for me, that's just the way I do it. And I think every crafter is pretty much the same way. Whichever is going to get it done the quickest, look the way you want it to look, and, you know, be secure. We kind of stick with what works. So I'm going to go ahead and end this for today. Let TikTok process it. Yeah, I don't think that she is. Let TikTok process this so I can get it posted up. And the rest of the directions for that bucket hat. And I definitely will be back Tuesday. So I will see everybody on Tuesday. Judy, thanks for stopping in. Harley, everybody else. I really appreciate you stopping in. Check me out Tuesday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come join me. Have a good day, everybody. And as usual, may your stitch counts always match. And happy crafting.